Today's work was mainly an architecture consistency update. The goal was to make the codebase, documentation, tests, runtime boundaries, and public export line up around the same version of the product. That matters because Alcheme has several connected layers: app flows, AI-assisted work, source materials, chain programs, local infrastructure, and external app entry points. The automated coverage was expanded, so core product flows have clearer evidence behind them. New checks cover structured discussion, turning selected discussion messages into drafts, crucible draft review, paragraph editing, source-grounded questions, temporary edit access, fork source material states, governance UI boundaries, and the circle summary view. The important part is the boundary. Browser tests prove visible UI behavior and permissions. Real wallet signing, chain writes, and indexer return paths stay in the local full-stack test profile. The public node and private sidecar split was tightened. Private AI requests now use sidecar-aware routes instead of quietly falling back to the public node. This includes ghost drafts, accepted issue revision help, source-grounded questions, configuration suggestions, settings text suggestions, neutral evaluation for private material, and style advisor proposal creation and events. On the backend, public nodes now fail closed before accepting those private inputs. This makes the runtime topology match the product's privacy boundary more directly. Several areas were cleaned up, so the project does not overstate what is current. External apps can still submit source materials through the intended private path, but that right boundary is now checked more directly. Contribution engine docs and manifests now separate what is currently projected from what is only reserved for a later full projection. This is not about adding a flashy feature. It is about making sure current capabilities, future reserved work, and documentation claims do not get mixed together. The local runtime setup was also brought into the same consistency pass. Local program configuration now includes the contribution engine artifact where the local stack expects it. Container database setup now points to Prisma migrations as the current schema source instead of treating an old SQL file as live truth. Sync status can also tell the frontend when the read model may still be incomplete, even if the slot number has caught up. The create circle path was reorganized as part of the same architecture work. The UI layer still owns wallet calls, page state, chain writes, and API side effects. The extracted orchestration logic handles the pure decisions: pre-flight failure, post-create settings, governance required settings, fork anchors, seeded source import failures, and sync settlement. So the user-facing creation flow stays the same, while the internal structure becomes easier to test and reason about. This batch added and updated a lot of tests and documentation around the consistency update. Verification included full package checks, desktop and mobile browser E2E runs, local full-stack wallet coverage, query API route tests, front-end routing tests, contract checks, public export checks, license audit, indexer tests, policy checks, covenant checks, and whitespace checks. One local container runtime smoke was still blocked because the Docker daemon was not available, but the compose configuration check did verify the new migration service wiring.